Kaden and I participated in a rally, a walk for justice to the Justice Center in Akron, Ohio. As an NAACP member, a young member, she was mobilized and energized by what she's been seeing on Facebook and on Twitter. And so, Kaden, kind of tell us some of the things that you've been reading and hearing about.
That some of the protests are turning into riots, like against our will, because we're being pushed into situations where we're trapped between police or buses taking us to jail. And there's organizations like ICE or the KKK coming out to harm protesters in bigger cities like Chicago or LA.
So today, when we went in Akron, Ohio to protest the killing of an unfortunate incident that occurred in Minneapolis, Minnesota, there were protesters there as we were trying to organize and to provide information to people as we move forward. But because there were protesters there, as well as the individuals that were walking for justice, unfortunately, she didn't get a chance to say her say. So I want to give her that opportunity now. Kayla?
I wanted to take the time today to speak about my frustrations toward current events. More specifically, the ongoing deaths of unarmed black people at the hands of police officers. I'm angry that African Americans still have to fight for the right to live. We've been fighting for almost 400 years, but still, we are not equal in the eyes of society. We want the same liberties, not to be above anyone, just equal. No matter how far African Americans excel, we are still seen as criminals. We are doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, and journalists. We are athletes, actors, singers, and comedians. We are mayors, senators, and even presidents. But still, society sees us as guilty. I'm tired of black Americans being portrayed as violent thugs. When police are called, we are automatically assumed to have done something wrong. Even when injustices are recorded, somehow it is still our fault. Recent events may not have taken place in our city, nor do we want them to, but we are all a part of a hurting community. Watching innocent black people being wrongfully detained, arrested, brutally beaten, and killed by police officers who are trained to protect and serve is disheartening. In fact, it is suffocating. So much so that I can't breathe, you can't breathe, and America can't breathe. We are all choking on years of oppressive legislation that is being disguised as social order. People my age are being killed for playing in parks and buying a bag of Skittles. People who look like me are losing their lives for jogging or just simply being in their own homes. I'm exhausted that the color of my skin is seen as a threat. Policies must change. In order for this type of change to occur, we must fight together. African Americans cannot accomplish this alone, and we need our allies. We need our non-black family members, friends, neighbors, and colleagues to join us. Kneel with us to bring awareness to police brutality. Stand with us to enforce basic human rights. Walk with us to protest against discrimination. And most importantly, run with us to the polls this November and vote. By voting, we can end the cycle of systemic racism together.
Drop the mic. I don't really think any more needs to be said. The words of a young person who we need to inspire to do more in our country. I'm impressed, and I wanted to make sure you said that. Matter of fact, we'll put it up on the website as well, because people need to understand that our young people have a voice.